Today, I want to talk to you, specifically the betrayed spouse, about the unhealthiness of your unfaithful spouse. It could be man, it could be a woman. The reality is, I use analogies all the time to try and help kind of paint pictures of the element that's going on usually between spouses. And a lot of times I'll ask a betrayed spouse, tell me the age of your youngest child. And oftentimes, 5, 7, 8 years old, what have you. And I'll say, so when your youngest is sick, do you ask them to take care of themselves? And they say, no. I said, do you say, hey, get up and get the thermometer and take your temperature at 5? No. Hey, I know you feel like you're going to throw up. Go get a bucket and come back down on the couch and watch TV. At 7, you're hoping that they're not going to just throw up all over the couch, right? You're happy to get the bucket. And you are not asking the unhealthy, sick person to take care of themselves. And most of the betrayed spouses get that. They really do. And then I say, so what I'm painting, with the picture I'm painting for you is that you can't expect the unhealthy, unfaithful spouse to make healthy choices. You can't expect them to take care of themselves because they're self-deceived most of the time. Most of the time they're so unhealthy they don't even know what they need. Most of the time they're so self-deceived and so sick they can't take care of themselves. And so I think you have to curb your expectations and say, why am I expecting an unhealthy, sick person? Because only an unhealthy person, a self-deceived person, and at some level a sick person mentally, cheats on their spouse, whether it be once, whether it be a long-time affair, or several times. They're just unhealthy. I was there too. I was extremely sick. I was extremely unhealthy. Rick and Samantha would say that I had the sickness of being a complete jerk. I had the sickness of being the special word they called me, which was an a-hole. Rick said all the time, you're being an a-hole. Samantha's favorite word for me was a-hole. She would walk away from me several times after a fight, a-hole. I mean, that was just the magic word she had for me. But I was unhealthy and I was sick. And so Rick and even Samantha didn't expect the unhealthy person, the sick person, to take care of themselves. What I mean is, we had to get the right kind of help, and I had to be cared for and taught what to do, how to help Samantha heal, how to help myself heal. I had to relearn what it was like to make it more about Samantha in life than it was about me. What I mean is, I had to get healthy. I had to get healed. And so Samantha dealt with me early on, which is, it was kind of like I spoke in another blog. If you will continue to do these things, I will do these things, and we will do well. But if you're not willing to do these things, then I need you to know I'm not willing to do these things. Because after I got help, and this is the tricky part, after I started seeing Rick, after we went to an EMS weekend, then there was this point where things shifted, and both Rick and even Samantha had higher expectations of me. There was this point where it was like, look, you've had some of the best help in the country. You've been to an EMS weekend. You've gone through a lot of different things to understand what I, the betrayed spouse, need, and what your kids need, and what your life requires. You need to start doing it. I'm not going to babysit you. I'm not going to babysit your recovery. Now there was a sense of ownership that had to shift in me. I had to start taking responsibility for my own recovery because I was getting healthy, and I was healthier, and I was no longer as sick. So I hope you're following me here. So betrayed spouses, early on, until you get the right kind of help, and until you get an expert involved, maybe it's an EMS weekend, I don't know, but until you get that level of help, I think you have to have your expectations set to realize you're dealing with a sick or an unhealthy person, and that sick person, that unhealthy person, is probably not healthy enough to get up and go get the bucket to vomit in and rinse it out and do all the different things that healthy people do for sick people. You can't expect an unhealthy person and a sick person to make healthy choices and to make choices that a mentally aware, healthy, sober person would make. I hope that all makes sense, and I hope it helps you. If I can ever do anything, feel free to reach out.